Welcome along then to the EuroNASCAR Pro round number 3, the third round of the season, the first race of the weekend here at the Brands Hatch Indy circuit, the EuroNASCAR series. A big proponent of the American Speed Fest, and as you can see, the fans are here in their droves to see the stars of the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. And even got some of the remote control equivalents from Cal Racing out there as well. And the American Speed Fest, the kind of event that runs around the Brands Hatch round of the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, is always a huge extravaganza, one of the most popular events of the year held at Brands Hatch. And in general, just a wonderful event to attend. And every year it seems to get that little bit bigger. There's more and more going on, that be it monster trucks, be it demonstrations of other incredible American-style racing cars. And there you see it. There's a proper funfair festival going on as well. It really is a hotbed for a fun time. Spectators allowed to walk the circuit as well, and there's lots of American car clubs and so on dotted around the circuit as well. Colin Chapman Way, the road that runs perpendicular to the main straight. You have all sorts of different car clubs, Corvettes, Camaros, Mustangs, all sorts of fabulous stuff. And the EuroNASCAR 2 drivers doing some autograph signing as the EuroNASCAR Pro guys get ready to go racing. It is EuroNASCAR Pro that we will have racing first here this weekend at Brands Hatch. Of course, 38 laps of racing, a slightly longer distance than average. I'd say that's in large part owing to the length of the circuit. Of course, a very, very short layout here, about 1.3 miles, 2 kilometers for the Brands Hatch Indy circuit. And you can hear that the live commentators are hyping up the crowd for the EuroNASCAR Pro category, and it is an exciting, exciting place to be, that much is for sure. You see all the glitz and glamour of the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series on show down there on the grid for the spectators to take in. Of course, an interesting situation in the championship coming out of Valencia with just 1 point between Nicolo Roca and Alan Day. On screen there, we see Martin Dubeck doing some signatures for the fans. And of course, he is the reigning EuroNASCAR 2 champion. And 24 minutes until we get started, as you can see. So there's still a little ways to go yet, but of course, the pageantry of EuroNASCAR always critical. We're going to have the national anthems of both the UK and the USA during the next few moments. And there you see the number 16 car out on circuit. And that car, of course, in the pro category being driven by Claudio Capelli. What a magnificent beard that man has. Moving on, though, to Andre. He's catching up with some interviews.
On the grid with Max Lanza. Max, how are you feeling today?
Not too good, not very good, because this morning I had a problem with the pressure in the air, and the doctor says that not race for me today.
Okay.
I'm very sad.
Yeah, but on the other hand, now you can feel the atmosphere and enjoy the festival.
This is wonderful. This is my favorite track, and there are a lot of fans. The circuit is extraordinary, and this is the most beautiful weekend in the season.
I wish that you recover fast so you can be back in action. Thank you so much and enjoy the weekend as best as possible.
Thank you very much, Andre.
Grazie. Okay, let's try to grab a word with Luli de Castello as well, but she's also signing a lot of autographs at the moment. I just need to squeeze my way here for just a second, please. Luli, how are you feeling? Come stai?
Bene, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yesterday, my car, I had a crash. Just a little bit sick on my hand, but I'm okay.
How do you like
Ready.
How do you like the atmosphere with all the fans?
It's incredible, incredible. In Italy, we haven't this. It's sad for this. It's incredible, incredible.
Okay, grazie.
I love all this. I love all this. It's first time for me. It's the first time, really.
Grazie mille, have fun, and I think all of them here are enjoying this as well. We try to find another driver or team manager. Let's see who we get here. I know it's a little bit more full of car racing, but they occupied both rows. But I see Anthony Kumpen there. Maybe we can go to him. So I tried to grab a word with him. Anthony. Yeah. On the phone. How are you feeling today?
Really good. You know, it's one of the best NASCAR events we have, so always happy to come to Brands Hatch.
The atmosphere after the COVID-19 pandemic, all the fans back. As a team manager, you're not the driver, but as a team manager, what does it mean to you?
Yeah, it's really important. You know, racing is all about budgets, and you have to find the sponsorships. And, you know, the fans make that happen. All the fans that are here, they make happen that we can do this racing. So I'm really happy that we're back here, that they come on the grid, that they come near our cars, that they come to the drivers. So it's all about the fans. The fans make us race here, so we're really happy to have this event after the COVID situation. Is fantastic.
You were a driver. You know exactly how it is to be in that car. When do you feel the atmosphere? Even on the first lap, or are you already focused there?
You know, while you're racing, it's pretty difficult because you're focused on the racing. But, you know, once you cross the finish line and then you look around and you hear the cheers of the crowd, it's fantastic. And even like now for the drivers, before the start of the race, there's a huge crowd. Everybody wants signatures and everything. So it's quite stressful because they want to concentrate on the race, but it's a great feeling.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, well. And yeah, let's see if we can grab a word with another driver or team manager. Thanks, Anthony. We have Elise Del Sol here. Signing autographs, of course, as well. No, take your time, take your time. Ulysse, how are you feeling? Ça va?
Yes, of course. I'm good, and this is a very special race in EuroNASCAR because Brands Hatch we have all people, and this is a mythic track because Formula One was here in 1916 and 17, and Jim Clark, Jackie Stewart, Jack Brabham and Ayrton Senna was won on this track, and today this is the birthday of Jackie Stewart. Happy birthday. And Brands Hatch, my last podium it was in 5 years ago, and my goal is to become on the is to do a top 5 and top 3, and I must to become yes, sorry, my English is
No problem.
but yes, this year I want to be in the top 3, and for this year I want to stay focused on my job, and will be we will see after the season, but I don't want to think too much because yes, and it's not easy to become a driver, and but yes, to be on the grid this year, it's a great pleasure, this year, yes. Sorry, but
I totally understand what you mean. Merci beaucoup. We will see you later in the EuroNASCAR 2, the 2018 EuroNASCAR 2 champion, Ulysse Descent. And I think I have another guy found on the fence, of course. A lot of drivers on the fence. We have here Frédéric Gabillon. Okay, let's start here. Fred, how are you doing? Ça va?
Yeah, I'm okay. No, let's go.
Good starting position for that race. You were very dominant in free practice, so what can we expect from you today?
I don't know, just trying to avoid contact, trying to make a good lap. It's really hard on this track to overtake, so we will see for the race. This morning was a little bit disappointing. I was not able to make a good lap without mistake, so it's my bad, not the car. The car is quite good, so we will see during the race and during the long stint how the car was working.
Merci beaucoup. We go to the next one. Can we get you for a second? Listening to music?
Yeah.
What kind of music?
All kinds.
All kind. What's the song right now?
Actually, I don't know.
Okay.
The playlist I like and just play it.
Okay, that's easy. Decent starting position for you, Giorgio Maggi. What are your plans today? It's a tough track, a lot of traffic coming.
Well, plan is always the same, win. How we do it, it's going to be really tough. Here especially the start is very important because they're really the only place where you can really get a position or two. For the rest, the pace of the field is very even, so it's going to be very tough to get past the guys in front.
One last question to the music. Can you tell me the genre?
Some hip-hop.
Okay, perfect. That's it. Thank you so much. And I think we go now back to Adam. We covered a lot of here from the grid. Amazing to see all the people out there on the grid walk. And now, Adam, it's on you.
There you go. Lots of insight there from the teams, from the drivers. A lot of those drivers from EuroNASCAR 2, of course, but Gabillon, Maggi, they are both racing in just a few minutes here in the 38-lap race for the EuroNASCAR Pro category. And also, of course, hearing from Anthony Kumpen, the big boss at PK Car Sports, a driver himself in his own right, of course, in previous years in EuroNASCAR and in the world of GT racing long before that too. It's a really strong grid of cars that we have here in the EuroNASCAR Pro category this season, or this weekend in particular. We actually split qualifying into two groups earlier today. That's of course more down to the lack of length when it comes to the circuit than anything else. Just wanted to make sure that everybody had the opportunity to find some circuit for themselves and have a good lap, and so we ran the qualifying in two groups earlier today, and it was a very interesting session. It ended up with a Cal Racing top two. Nicolo Rocca on the pole position, Gianmarco Ercoli alongside him on the front row in the Cal Racing cars. So keep an eye on them. And you see there, the safety car is also appropriately American this weekend. The American Speed Fest here at Brands Hatch, they really do make a huge effort to celebrate all things Americana, be it the cars, be it the culture, the entertainment, the food. It's all kind of shown off here. And back to Andre.
The most important part. The most important part, it's not always about the drivers and the cars, it's all about the fans. Amazing grid work here, right?
Absolutely, yeah, it's been brilliant today. Very enjoyable, really enjoyed it.
With who are you here?
My family, so I've got Brooke, Teddy and my wife Kerry.
And you're enjoying it all?
Oh, it's been amazing. We've had so much fun, haven't we? Great family event.
That's okay, that's okay. It's okay to be shy there. So, enjoy the event and I hope you have fun with the races.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. Bye. So now back at him.
That's awesome. That's excellent stuff. Great to hear from the fans. I think I made my first TV appearance by accident at Brands Hatch when I was about 13. So that was a bit nostalgic for me, I must say. Good to see Chris Dawes doing laps of the grid there for the circuit commentary feed as well. We really do bring a crack team down to Brands Hatch for this event. And of course, the Brands Hatch Indy circuit is fairly basic. You know, there's not that many corners, but all of them are very technical indeed. And overtakes are always hard fought at this track. It's not to say that this race will be boring, anything but, because when you have saloon cars on the Brands Hatch Indy circuit, invariably things get very exciting. I'm expecting a barnstormer of a 38-lap race once we do get the engines fired here today. There was Alon Day's car. We'd had a brief look at the number 24. Of course, Anthony Kumpen was sat against it earlier on. 38 laps of the circuit. As I said earlier on, it's just under 2 kilometers, 1.929 kilometers of circuit. The Paddock Hill Bend, an infamous corner, a very tricky corner. That's turn 1. You run up Halewoods Hill towards Druids Bend, which is turn 2. Arguably the best overtaking opportunity on the circuit. Turn 3, that's Graham Hill Bend. Onto the Cooper Straight towards Surtees and McLaren. Then it is Clearways or Clark Curve and then Clearways, bringing you onto the main straight, which is known as the Brabham Straight. But those of you who just had a look at that satellite map that we just displayed on screen will note that perhaps straight is a misnomer. Both the Brabham Straight and the Cooper Straight have a bit of a curve to them. You're never really doing anything but fighting the wheel, particularly in these EuroNASCAR machines. We're just a couple of minutes away from hearing the national anthems, incidentally, so we will soon hear that. And of course, we do have the drivers start your engines command to welcome the sound of these fabulous small block V8s, these 5.7 litre, 400 brake horsepower motors that power the EuroNASCAR machines. Just 1,200 kilos of curb weight as well, so it is quite a good power to weight ratio. And of course, they've got good torque as well, rear-wheel drive, as they should be. And it certainly is a great recipe, a recipe for success that has been proven time and time again over the years for the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. And of course, in more recent years, we've moved to the Hoosier tyres and so on. The team at Team FJ always working hard to try and optimize the package offered by the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series year on year on year. Don't worry, no one's under arrest. The police car is just for show. And just to add to the overall Americanness of everything going on out there on the circuit. Great to see supporters. Looks like that's a birthday party going on there. Happy birthday to whoever's having an anniversary today. In fact, they're getting interviewed for one of the social media platforms as well. That's the thing about going on the grid walk. You're susceptible to being talked to by a man or a woman with a microphone. You do have to be careful of that. You see there, 9.5 minutes until we go live here. Or at least until the cars go live, I should say. We will hear the national anthems of both the United States and the United Kingdom in just a few moments. You see the drivers continuing to get ready. And I think we are just a few moments away from getting those national anthems. As soon as I hear them, we will fall silent for just a moment, of course, to respect both the Star-Spangled Banner and God Save the Queen. And I believe, here we go, the American national anthem is about to be played. There you go, that was the US national anthem. Don't know if we are actually getting God Save the Queen. I do think we have a Spitfire overhead though at the moment, which is about as British as it gets. The 27-litre Merlin engine flying overhead at the moment. And on Sunday, I believe we're going to have a live rendition of the US national anthem as well. And you see there, the monster truck. You could even strap yourself in for a high-octane ride in a monster truck. You just saw it go out of shot there as we zoomed in. It is really awesome to see fans back at the circuit. Of course, Andre collared a couple of them for a conversation. How amazing it is to have them back. We've discussed, of course, the championship race. We've mentioned Nicola Rocca. We've mentioned Alan Day. Someone I haven't mentioned, the driver who's third in the points, 8 back from the lead coming out of Valencia, Alexander Graf. Now, I want to mention him because he did not have a good qualifying at all. In fact, I'm struggling to find him on the grid. 12th place on the grid, Alexander Graf, which is certainly suboptimal for the man who was on pole in Valencia at one point. And you see there the drivers are still waiting, of course, because we will soon have the engines rising. You see there on the back of that queue, you have Alberto Nasca, who will be racing in EuroNASCAR 2 later on. Nasca, the very, very popular YouTuber, has been having a stellar season to this point in EuroNASCAR 2. And there you see Frederic Gabillon putting in his final preparations before he takes the wheel of the number 3 car. The number 3 car operated, of course, by RDV Competition. We heard from both him and Ulysse Delceau earlier on, and that was a great fact, actually, from Ulysse. He said, of course, 83rd birthday for Jackie Stewart today, and listed off some of the great names that have raced here. The last time that Formula One raced here was back in 1986. The British Grand Prix held here for the last time in 86. They alternated with Silverstone for a very long time, but Brands Hatch has never ceased to have amazing events. Another key point as well, the man you see there leading the junior trophy points, Tobias Downhauer, 4th in the overall championship as well. He, unfortunately, isn't here because he tested positive for COVID earlier in the week and has unfortunately not been able to take the start today. And as you see there, Max Lanza, challenge class driver. We heard from him earlier, 5th in the points overall, and he isn't racing this weekend. So Max Lanza, unfortunately not able to take the start this weekend. He's going to lose big points as well. So that means that quite a few drivers are going to have a golden opportunity to move up the order today, both in the junior class, the challenge class, and the overall standings. So then we are just a couple of minutes away from hearing the most famous words in motorsport. You see the crowd being surveyed at the moment. A few people here for their first American Speed Fest event. And every year we seem to get more and more people coming back year on year for this event. The NASCAR Whelen Euro Series never fails to deliver. I remember my first NASCAR Whelen Euro Series race here about 10 years ago, back when they were supporting the DTM series. Certainly it always does steal the show, the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, and so Brands Hatch decided it was time to run a Speed Fest, an American Speed Fest, and make NASCAR Whelen Euro Series the center of attention, and it's been a resounding success ever since. On a personal note, I was very excited to find a merchant of US motorsport memorabilia. I may have spent an amount of money. So we're 2 minutes away now from the start. So there you see the 16 car. The 16 car is Claudio Capelli. Capelli, who will actually drive 2 different cars in 2 different races, which I don't think happens often, the 16 and the 18. First time ever. Is that what I'm being told by Gianluca? Goodness me. Okay, Gianluca, the brains of the operation here, Gianluca Guiglia, he just told me, first time that's ever happened. I knew it was rare, I didn't know it had never happened before. So Claudio Capelli racing the 16 car in EuroNASCAR Pro, the 18 car in EuroNASCAR 2. I knew it didn't happen often. I didn't know it had never happened before. That's very, very interesting indeed. Okay, so yes, we covered that. Claudio is actually on the grid quite high up as well. He's 10th on the grid for this one. He just about made it into the top 10 shootout. And we see we are just approaching the 60-second mark until we hear the famous start command for the drivers here at Brands Hatch. It's going to be so exciting to get these engines revved up and get the cars underway on their formation lap. And of course, once we do go racing, it's going to be 38 laps of racing, which is a longer distance than we normally have. I would wager that, or rather it's a longer number of laps than we normally have. And I do think on such a short circuit as well, 75 kilometers, 38 laps, there's definitely going to be some back marker work to do, isn't there? I think we're going to have some people being lapped, and that could be an interesting element. We don't have to deal with the traffic too often, but here we go.
Drivers, start your engines.
There you go, representative from Brands Hatch giving the command to start the engines, and we oblige with gusto. You may notice a gap on the grid there. To reiterate what Max Lanza said himself, the 88 car is unfortunately not taking the start. I understand he's done something to his ears. He's got some issues with his ears, and the doctors vetoed the idea of him going racing today, unfortunately, and tomorrow for that matter. It sounds like he's out of the weekend. He was ruining the fact that he can't race here on one of his favourite circuits, the Brands Hatch Indy circuit, but 32 other drivers will do so. And the one that leads them away will be Nicolo Rocca. Gianmarco Ercoli will start alongside him, Alan Day and Frederic Gabillon on that second row. That's a top 4 that should make for some exciting racing. I also want to say 9th place, Liam Hazemans. Keep an eye on Liam. It's his EuroNASCAR Pro debut here this weekend. Young Liam, who had his first racing experience anywhere at Valencia in EuroNASCAR 2, is double dipping here this weekend. He's doing EuroNASCAR 2 and EuroNASCAR Pro. That is, of course, because of Tobias Downhauer not being able to race. So an unfortunate reason as to why, but that is the reasoning. Downhauer, unfortunately, not able to race. So Liam Hazemans has doubled his racing efforts for this weekend. And to his credit, he got into the top 10 shootout. He got 9th on the grid. He was actually higher up the order before the shootout as well. And now we take a look at the grid in full. Nicolo Rocca, as I said, for Cal Racing on the pole position. That number 56 Chevrolet Camaro alongside him. His teammate, Gianmarco Ercoli. PK Car Sports' Alan Day is next in 3rd position. And alongside him is Frederic Gabillon in the number 3 car. Gabillon in P4. Giorgio Maggi in the 18 car. And alongside him, Martin Dubeck, the EuroNASCAR 2 champion of 2021. 7th place is Patrick Lemarie in the number 5 car. Following him is Fabrizio Armetta in the 55. 9th place is Liam Hazemans, making his EuroNASCAR Pro debut in the number 50 car for Hendricks Motorsport, joined by Claudio Capelli in 10th position. Looks like we're only having the top 10 then Further down the order, in 11th place, we have Vittorio Garelli. One car we don't have, at least not a car that's moving, is the number 1. Thomas Grassonis has come to a halt. I think that's just before Paddock Hill Bend. That's just before turn 1. Something wrong with the Grassonis car. Well, we're having a few dramas before we've even gone racing here today. You heard that through the speakers. They have rather appropriately picked the soundtrack of Thunderstruck by AC/DC. Really is cool. Of course, they're an Australian band technically, but let's not focus on the details, eh? The number 1 car of Grassonis actually stopped just before Druids. Now, it's going to take them a little while to move that car, I think. If they'll probably just try and get him to roll it down the hill and off to the right of your picture, to the old rallycross chicane at the inside of turn 1. I reckon that's probably what they're going to try and do, but let's wait and see what's going on with Grassonis then. Hopefully we don't have any delay to the beginning of the racing here. The fans have been built up to this moment of going racing. Certainly we've built ourselves up to. It's very exciting to be here with you in the commentary box for round 3 of the EuroNASCAR Pro season. It's going to be 38 frenetic laps of racing action for the EuroNASCAR category. Looks like we're going to get at least one more lap behind the safety car here. And there you see the view from McLaren, that was. And yeah, one more lap behind the safety car. Coley and Nicolo Rocca. Nicolo Rocca, our pole sitter in the 56 car, the 54. Gianmarco Coley. Keep an eye on Alan Day as well when we do go racing. I think both Day and Gabillon are both drivers who won't waste any time trying to move their way up through the front row of the grid. Looks to me like they're slowing the cars down intentionally here on the main straight in an effort to try and get the number 1 car moved out of the way. Are they bringing them to a complete halt? Yes, they are. Okay, so they're having to remove the number 1 car of Thomas Grassonis before festivities can begin here for the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. Category that has existed in one form or another, under one guise or another, since 2009. It has often been one of the most exciting events of the year at Brands Hatch. We're sure this is going to be no exception. There's Grassonis' car in, and that means that surely we should be able to have another stab at getting these cars rolling. Sure enough, off they go. We are now rolling once more. Of course, 2x2 rolling start for this race, as is custom in NASCAR competition. Not often that we see cars stopping on the formation lap like that, but it happens at all levels. And unfortunately, the bug has struck Thomas Grassonis on this particular occasion. He will be inconsolable after that one, I'm sure. Everyone seems to love racing here at Brands Hatch, and he unfortunately isn't going to get the opportunity to do so. They're lining up in 2x2 formation, so this time we are going to go racing at long last. The moment you've all been waiting for is just a few seconds away. And there you see that red banner on the 56 car of Nicolo Rocca. Now that denotes that he is the points leader coming into this event. Just 1 point he has over Alan Day, second in the championship. Gianmarco Ercole, meanwhile, is a mere 13th in the standings, so if he can have a good race there from the outside of the front row, he will be sitting pretty. We're just a few moments away. The cars are picking up the speed. 2x2 formation. And we're about to hear the sound of V8 Thunder. We're underway at Brands Hatch for round 3 of the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, EuroNASCAR Pro category, and it is our pole sitter Nicolo Rocca that leads them through the first corner. Does everyone get through Paddock Hill Bend without dramas? It looks like they've all found a way. Yes, they have. It is Nicolo Rocca that leads, Gianmarco Ercole in second place, Alan Day there in third. Frederick Gabillon getting very loose out of Druids Bend, but it looks like he's retained fourth place in the early going here. Nicolo Rocca leading the way, and further back I think that's Alexander Graf off circuit out of Graham Hill Bend. Alexander Graf looks like he's having some problems in the 64 car, the driver who's third in the championship, lest we forget. That could be critical for his campaign this season. Also saw Frederick Gabillon smoking a little bit there through Surtees and McLaren. Hopefully that's nothing more serious than it looks. Through Paddock Hill Bend for the second time, curb hopping they go through the corner. You can see where the cars bottom out going through Paddock Hill Bend. And there is that 56 car. Nicolo Rocca leading the way in the early going. Oh, and there was a spin further back there that we just saw before we cut away. That was Christoph Lenz in the 58 car that was going for a spin. Now let's hope he hasn't been collected. Oh, the 36 car. Oh, more misfortune for Vittorio Garelli. Garelli with a problem there then. There's Martin Dubeck. Where's he? He's in 6th position, and that was the 64 car. I was right. I thought it was a 64 off in the back of shot, and unfortunately, Alexander Graf is in the pit lane. He's already lost a lap. He is probably all but done for this Saturday race here at Brands Hatch. And with it, his third place in the championship will go as well. Looked like Liam Hazemans was getting in amongst it there with Roman Iannetta. That's a battle for 10th position. And in fact, that was a move for 10th position. Liam Hazemans has just moved back in to the top 10, having started in 9th place. Looked quite physical, but he's got the move done. There is that number 50 car of Liam Hazemans. Had a great conversation with Liam in the paddock earlier on. And also his grandfather, the legendary Twan Hazemans. He was talking to me about racing here some 50 years ago in an Alfa Romeo 33 sports car. And look at Hazemans go. He's on the move here. Going defensive is that 16 car, Claudio Capelli. No such dramas though for the 56 car. Nicolo Rocca with a nice few car lengths already over the chasing pack. Gianmarco Ercole is having to watch the mirrors because Alan Day is right there with them. Gabillon in 4th, Maggie in 5th place, and Martin Dubeck rounding out our top 6 at the moment. Keep an eye on that 18 car of Giorgio Maggi. He has been a very brave driver at times. Certainly we saw that on a couple of occasions last time out at Valencia. If he sees an opportunity to pass Gabillon, he'll take it. Alan Day to the inside at Druids Bend. Fair play there from Gianmarco Ercole. He gave him just enough room, but he also gave himself a great run out of Druids Bend and holds on to 2nd position. So Ercole continues to defend from Alan Day, and of course as those two scrap, it allows Nicolo Rocca to disappear up the road. The gap was a second practically between them crossing the line last time. That's only going to have gone out now. We've just completed lap 5 of 38, on to lap 6 of 38 now. And it is Nicolo Rocca leading by 1.2 seconds, and he's setting the fastest laps out there on circuit as well. Although I think he maybe lost a little bit of time there through Paddock Hill Bend on that occasion, maybe pushed a little bit too far. And Alan Day continues to stalk Coley. Gabiano Maggi, 4th and 5th place. Then it's Martin Dubek, a little way off now in 6th. He's fallen off the back of the 18 car of Maggi. Across the line they go to complete 6 laps of racing. And I'm sure Alan Day will feel that time is of the essence here. He wants to make the overtake on Gianmarco Ercole as soon as possible for 2nd position, so he can try and catch and pass Nicolo Rocca. And sure enough, he's gone for it at Druids. They're side by side coming through the out of Druids Bend. Graham Hill Bend, let's have a look at what's going on. No, instead we look further back to Capelli and Hazemans. This is a battle for 9th, 10th and 11th place. But what we want to know is what's happened in the battle for 2nd place. We're not sure whether Ercole has got around, or rather whether Ercole has defended the advances of Alan Day. I think we're going to have to wait for the timing screen to tell us here. Iannetta continues to push on behind Liam Hazemans, but Coley has remained ahead of Alan Day. So there you see there was no change ultimately, even though they were side by side. Of course, Alan Day would have had the outside for Graham Hill Bend anyway, so that's not exactly a surprise that he didn't make the position up on that occasion. You get the feeling that Liam Hazemans will take even a third of an opportunity if it's granted to him. You don't really have to open the door as much as unlock it, and that's enough for Liam Hazemans to take a look. Liam on the hunt then, but of course every time he sizes up Capelli for a move, he then has to worry about Iannetta behind him as well. Runs it a bit deep there through Paddock Hill Bend as the youngster. Hazemans actually collected that up quite nicely, but I think he's got to worry more about Iannetta behind him than Capelli in front of him, at least for the foreseeable. We're about to start lap 10 of 38 then. And it is still Nicolo Rocca that leads the way at the sharp end of the order by 1.1 seconds over Gianmarco Ercole, our championship leader, at the head of the pack. Bit of a lock-up there from Capelli. He actually managed to scrub off speed quite nicely there, but here comes Hazemans. Oh, and a touch between the two of them. And that's definitely caused some damage to Hazemans' front end. But he's managed to get through, and oh, it's all kicking off further back. The 17 car into the gravel. That's Manfrey. Meanwhile, Capelli is losing positions. He's now lost a place to Iannetta as well. And through as well goes Sebastian Blakemolen. Blakemolen moving up to 11th place. Capelli has gone from 9th to 12th in just one lap. But there is a car now deep bedded in the gravel, and it's that 17 car, the Wolf of Bernardo Manfrey. And one has to imagine, of course they're under yellow flags at the moment, but will they feel the need to put the race under safety car? Let's wait and see what the word is from the stewards. But here we look to the sharp end of the order again, and Nicolo Rocca has actually been caught up in the last couple of laps by Ercole. The gap was out over a second, it's now 0.8. So maybe Alan Day has decided to stop trying to get past Ercole and work with him for a little while. It doesn't seem as though Liam Hazemans has been particularly affected by that front end damage inflicted by his move on Capelli. You'd think with the front splitter that dislodged, things would get difficult for him. Safety car boards are flashing on the circuit. And sure enough, as we expected, the safety car is out. The safety car here at Brands Hatch is dispatched onto the circuit on the Cooper Straight from the back of the paddock. So the safety car has been deployed and we are now under safety car conditions. You see there the disjointed front end on Liam Hazeman's car. Meanwhile, Bernardo Manfrey abandoning ship. Jogs to safety. Good to see that he's A-OK. There were 2 other cars involved in that. Didn't quite catch the numbers, but a couple of cars getting themselves entangled in that situation for Manfrey. Worth noting as well that Alexander Graf is running again out there on circuit, albeit doing so a lap down. In fact, I think it might be 2 laps down even. So Graf, who was 3rd in the championship coming into this weekend, is certainly going to lose some points. 17 car is going to get retrieved then. You see there the marshals here at Brands Hatch, the volunteer marshals, the Orange Army. Our thanks to the marshals for their continued dedication to the world of motorsport, making sure that we can run race events each and every weekend. Of course, it's no secret that this weekend is also the Le Mans 24-hour race, and there's a huge English marshalling contingent that that go over to the Le Mans circuit for that event. However, we still have a fabulous crew here for the EuroNASCAR event and for the events all across the UK as well, which is really great to see. That was Alexander Graf unlapping himself. We just saw their 1 car overtaking, and that was Alexander Graf picking his way past the rest of the pack. Some other battle-scarred cars further down. I believe it was the number 40 car of Brynildsen that was looking particularly worse for wear, with a complete quarter panel missing. There, sure enough, it is the number 40 car. That can happen with these tube frame stock cars. Of course, in oval racing, in stock car competition, you hear a lot of talk about cars being tight and loose. Tight being understeery, loose being oversteery. I don't think that's as big of a factor here. I think by and large most of the drivers like a loose setup. You see them put a boot full of throttle down and drift the car out of the corners. But of course they do have to make the tyres last as well across the 2 races, so that's something they have to be wary of too. There's the dusty number 17 car. That looks like it's just been involved in a car chase from Smokey and the Bandit, doesn't it? Heading off the circuit to avoid the Smokey, as it were. Actually got the one of the Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am cars, the 1977 Pontiac Trans Am, down on Colin Chapman Way with a replica of the truck that Snowman drove in the famous Smokey and the Bandit film. If you're into your Burt Reynolds, Hal Needham films, then that's always a welcome sight. Another of many things put on by the organisers of the American Speedfest to really make it an all-American affair. You see the safety car boards still out there. I'd expect probably just the 1 more lap under safety car. We may well go back to racing this time by. And that's just been confirmed to me as well. So yes, safety car will be in this lap as anticipated because we have cleared the obstruction of the number 17 car that was, of course, deeply buried in the sand. So then, the cars will once again line up 2 by 2, and racing will resume here at Brands Hatch. We have 15 laps in the books so far. When we go back to racing, we will also be starting lap 17 of this 38-lap race. Keep an eye on Liam Hazemans. He's been fighting his way through the order, and the front-end bodywork tells you the tale of that as well. Alia Kolak also running around with some damage. A lot of the Mustangs, I'm noticing in particular, are very damaged. I'm sure some spares will be purchased for those this evening. 2 by 2 formation then. Keep an eye on the likes of Alan Day, Frederick Gabillon on that second row. Maggi, always one to sneak up the inside too. This is going to be a great restart. 2 by 2 formation. And it's go, the rolling start. Once again, the caution has been lifted and we are back to racing conditions. And once again, Nicolo Rocca with a command over the leads. Gianmarco Ercoli goes defensive there to make sure that Alan Day can't sneak up the inside. Frederick Gabillon there in 4th place. And he's under pressure from Dubek, who's managed to slide his way up into 5th place. So Dubek has moved up to P5 in the number 7 car. Giorgio Maggi not taking that lying down though. He's trying to find any way past that he can possibly find. And there's our leader, Nicolo Rocca. Oh, the number 2 with a problem there. The number 2 is Federico Monti. And unfortunately, he's coming to a halt there. I think that was around the outside of Graham Hill Bend. Quite far off onto the grass, though. So hopefully it doesn't cause us any issues. I note as well that back up to 9th place has gone Capelli. Claudio Capelli in the number 16 car has managed to pick his way back up to 9th place. And he's managed to dispatch Liam Hazemans. So after Hazemans rather physically managed to pass him for 9th place, and that ultimately cost him a couple of more places, Capelli is back into the top 10, just behind Roman Iannetta in the famous 46 livery that you just saw there in 8th position. So a really good first lap back from the safety car there for Claudio Capelli. He's managed to repass Hazemans, and he'll be looking to get past Roman Iannetta as well. So your order is Rocca, Ercoli, Day, Gabillon and Dubek, your top 5. Maggi is still there right behind Dubek. Then there's a bit of a gap back to the number 55 car of Armetta. Looked like that was Sebastian Blekemolen making a move further back as he slides through into 13th place. He's having a fight with a young 16-year-old Leonardo Colavita. The top 3 breaking away from Gabillon in 4th. Gabillon properly sideways through Surtees there. And coming under pressure from Martin Dubek, one of many drivers we'll see out again later on, of course. Dubek, as well as racing in EuroNASCAR Pro in the Challenge Trophy, he is also defending his EuroNASCAR 2 championship. So he's running EuroNASCAR Pro Challenge class, and he's running the EuroNASCAR 2 overall category to try and defend the championship he won last year. Alan Day stalking Ercoli at the moment. And that top 6 is well and truly broken away from the chasing pack. Alan Day, the 3-time champion, the most recent champion on the grid, of course. His most recent title win was 2020. Oh, the 40 car off again. Elvind Brynildsen has once again had a bit of a moment there, hasn't he? And oh, the gravel just ripping the car apart there. Rocca, Ercoli and Day have been caught up slightly by Gabillon as well. It really is a 6-car train for the lead at this stage. And Alan Day looks like he might be making a move. No, not quite close enough going through Surtees. But you can tell he's pushing. As we mentioned before the safety car, Alan Day will be extremely eager to make up more positions. There's the 90 car. Can he get that moving again? If not, we may have another delay here. Nicolo Gabossi, they're stranded in the middle of Graham Hill Bend. Of course, we've already got a car off at Paddock Hill as well. If there's too much going on around the circuit all at once, they may decide to bring out another caution. However, the 90 car has left the scene of the crime, so that's at least one obstruction that's no longer there. And what a lead scrap this is looking like at the moment. Gianmarco Ercoli in the slipstream. Not able to be close enough into Paddock Hill Bend. But Ercoli, see if he can get a good run up Halewoods Hill towards Druids Bend. Not quite close enough. He was more inclined to go defensive because of Alan Day. Of course, Day, certainly not someone you underestimate. Around the Clark Curve and into Clearways go the leading trio. Lap 23 of the race, 15 to go. Time really starting to run out for Alan Day. If he wants to try and challenge for the win here, he needs to dispatch Ercoli as soon as possible. But of course, Ercoli, as we mentioned, a mere 13th in the championship coming into this weekend after some misfortunes at Valencia. There's absolutely no way that Ercoli is going to give an inch to Alan Day. Day is going to have to work extremely hard. And I'm sure that the Cal Racing guys would love to deliver their team a 1-2 as well. Of course, both Nicolo Rocca and Gianmarco Ercoli are racing for Cal Racing. Alan Day's is a PK Car Sport entry. Oh, and that was a good run through Paddock Hill Bend for Alan Day. Can't quite capitalise though. He had to look to the inside, to the outside, every way he possibly could. Gabillon has fallen a few car lengths back from Alan Day, and he still has to worry about Dubek in the number 7. Martin Dubek's car, an entry from Hendricks Motorsport. Same team, of course, that enter Liam Hasemans, who has dropped down to 13th place now. I think with the safety car bunching everybody back together and Liam Hasemans running with a rather damaged front end, I think that despite the youngster's best efforts, he's now struggling a little bit with front end grip. I mentioned that tight and loose isn't really a discussion on road courses. It might be for Hasemans, and Alan Day right up the inside at Surtees of Gianmarco Ercoli. He tried to make it stick. I think there was a minor bit of contact between the two of them. And Ercoli is feeling the pressure now from Alan Day. We've got 12 more laps of racing here. And again, a great run out of the corner for Alan Day, and surely this time he's done it. He's got the car alongside, he's inside at Druids. He runs it deep into the corner to give Ercole nowhere to go. And Alan Day is through into second place here at Brands Hatch. The top two in the championship are now the top two on the circuit, and Gabion has run wide there. Didn't quite see what happened to him, but Dubek is through, and Giorgio Maggi has followed him past as well. So Dubek has moved his way up to fourth place. He'd be delighted with another top 5 finish in EuroNASCAR Pro. 29 car Avalia Kolek is in as well. That's a big shame for that young racer out of the UAE. She will be back out in EuroNASCAR 2 though. One of several drivers who does a joint campaign. Oh, Frederick Gabion there getting sideways. Gabion down to 6th position in that frenzy of action that happened several moments ago. And Dubek still under significant pressure from Giorgio Maggi. Of course, it's interesting. These two drivers, gravel is being kicked up, or has been kicked up around Paddock Hill Bends. Is there another car in the gravel? It doesn't appear so, so maybe someone just dipping some wheels in the gravel there. But to the point I was making previously, Dubek, of course, is a Challenge Trophy runner for the highly talented AMs of the grid. Meanwhile, the young driver Giorgio Maggi is in the junior class, so we've also got two trophy class leaders fighting for 4th and 5th overall at the moment. Roman Iannetta in the 46 car, a driver with a wealth of experience in NASCAR competition and indeed in the Le Mans 24 Hours, lots of sports car and GT racing. We saw the 58 car there was the cause of that gravel dust up, and Christoph Lenz has continued on, so we understand. Good to see that the driver, who is himself quite a veteran, has pressed on despite that slight excursion that we saw on screen a few moments ago. About to start lap 30 of the race, and having dispatched Gianmarco Ercole, the next task for our 3-time champion Alan Day is getting past Nicolo Rocca. But that is easier said than done. Alan Day looks to the inside going through Druids. We said that was probably going to be a favoured overtaking opportunity, and we're seeing that time and time again, aren't we? Nicolo Rocca finished 4th in the standings last year in EuroNASCAR Pro, 3rd back in 2019. He's been racing EuroNASCAR since 2014, but he's still only 28 years old. Ercole still leading the way then. Alan Day is so strong through Paddock Hill Bend. He takes the corner a little bit wider, carries more speed towards the apex, and manages to keep the car hooked up all the way through the corner. And on this occasion, he's had a brilliant run, a good enough run to draw alongside, a good enough run to take the lead. Alan Day through into the lead of the race, almost a carbon copy of what he did earlier on to Gianmarco Ercole. And Nicolo Rocca has now seen his championship rival pass him. And that overtake alone, if they were to throw the flag out now, would give Alan Day the championship lead by just a few points. So Alan Day has put on a masterclass now. He's carved his way through Gianmarco Ercole and Nicolo Rocca. Here we see the move again. As I said, carries so much more speed than anyone through Paddock Hill Bend. It's as if he's running with a cheat code, dives up the inside at Druids, and really did make that look easy. That is textbook stock car road course racing from Alan Day. A driver who has shown his mettle on both sides of the Atlantic. Such an impressive competitor. He now leads the way, but by no means is this race over. Nicolo Rocca, if he gets the faintest whiff of an invite to the inside, you can bet your bottom dollar he is going to take it. The drivers, they take it all in. They see the fans, they see the hype and the excitement for the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, and they say, right, this is the trophy that I want to win. And Alan Day currently set to do it, but he's got two very hungry drivers in the form of Nicolo Rocca and Gianmarco Ercoli in his rear view mirror. Alan Day would love to claim the red Whelen. Oh, the 16 car. Oh no, after such a good run back to the top 10, Claudio Capelli has ended up stuck at Paddock Hill Bend, and one has to imagine that unless he's moved that, we may end up with another safety car. Is the car stuck, or have they got it running? It doesn't look like the car is still there. Okay, that's good news. That means we can keep racing. But once again, Paddock Hill Bend proving to be the making and breaking of many drivers. Certainly, it's made the opportunities for Alan Day, but we've seen many come unstuck at Paddock Hill already. Capelli has fallen through the order significantly there. As a result of that, of course, you saw he had significant damage. Looks like there's some gravel and dust being kicked up all around the circuit at the moment. It's getting physical in the mid-pack, I think. Capelli's fallen down to 18th place with that damage. And unfortunately, Liam Hazemans has come into the pit lane as well. Hazemans was falling through the order, and now, unfortunately, it looks like he won't be taking the flag in his first ever race in EuroNASCAR Pro, despite a very strong first half to the race. That's very disappointing for young Liam, but he gets the opportunity, of course, to race again in EuroNASCAR 2 a little later on this afternoon. Alan Day with 3 laps and a bit to go. He's going to be worried because look ahead of him. There's a lot of traffic to contend with, and they are all in the heat of battle themselves. This could get very hairy very quickly for Alan Day. He's got the 17 car ahead of him, the beleaguered number 17 shadow of Manfrey. And Collock there, lifting off the throttle to try and allow Alan Day past. And, well, they're having to try and pick their battles here, aren't they? See there, Capelli limping his way around the circuit. His car clearly not up to full strength. I think Alan Day is getting the best of the traffic here. It seems as though the sea is parting for the driver of the number 24. Everyone knows the distinctive green and black car in the mirrors when they see it. Oh, but contact there between Alan Day and one of the back markers further back. That was almost very scary. Thankfully, he kept it going. I think that might have been the 90 car of Gabossi that he tapped the back of there. On to the penultimate lap of the race. I believe no more traffic imminently for Alan Day. I'm certain he's relieved about that. He's got a bit of a reorganised front end of the car because of that, but no harm, no foul otherwise. Just a lap and a half between Alan Day and the checkered flag. It'll be a second win of the season for the driver of the number 24. If he can just hold on for one more lap. White flag, 1 to go here at Brands Hatch. The longest lap of Brands Hatch Indy is the one where you're leading and you know that your competitors are right behind you. Alan Day has been in this situation many times, and of course with this win he will equal the record potentially for most wins at the Brands Hatch circuit in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. He's just a few corners removed. Through Surtees, through McLaren goes Alan Day. Out of the final corner comes the number 24 car for PK Car Sports. For Alan Day, it's another win and another checkered flag. A great result then for Alan Day. He wins ahead of Nicolo Rocca and Gianmarco Ercoli. Alan Day equals the record for most victories here at the Brands Hatch Indy circuit for the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. That is a huge achievement. Another chapter of the EuroNASCAR history books has been authored, printed and self-published by Alan Day. Rocca taking second place ahead of Ercoli. It was Martin Dubek that held on to fourth place despite the best efforts of Giorgio Maggi. Of course, both of those drivers also taking their respective class wins, the trophy, challenge trophy for Dubek and the junior trophy for Maggi. Gabion taking sixth place ahead of Armetta. Eighth place was Iannetta in the 46 car, Roman Iannetta. Patrick Lemarie finishing ninth, and long-time GT racing maestro and EuroNASCAR race winner Mark Goosens rounding out our top 10 here today in the EuroNASCAR Pro category. Well, I don't think races are much more textbook than that. Alan Day with his 29th career win in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. And as I said, or was trying to say, rather stumbled over my words, but the intended effect of my words was to say that that was a textbook win for Alan Day, and a significant one as well, tying the record for most wins. Of course, Villarino, our previous holder of that record, and Alan Day has matched him. Could well surpass him tomorrow, of course, but that's a whole other story. The wreckage of the number 40 Speedhouse car of Elvind Brynildsen was being recovered there in the gravel trap. Certainly, there was a lot going on in that first race for the EuroNASCAR Pro category here at Brands Hatch, round 3 of the championship. And once again, the combination of EuroNASCAR and Brands Hatch proving to be a golden one. Particularly if your name is Alan Day. And it looks as though he will be extracting himself from the car. Second consecutive win, of course, because he took round 2 at Valencia, the second race at Valencia. Onto the roof. And the celebrations will begin for PK Car Sports. Alan Day. We'll hear from him with Andre in just a few moments. You may have heard some strong opinions there from Alan Day. And over to Andre with our race winner.
Alan, tied with Anna Villarino's win here at Brands Hatch, but most important, you defended your championship lead and gained a lot of points on Nicolo Rocca. It was an amazing fight. Four or five guys fighting for the win. 2 amazing passes. Just talk us through the race.
Yeah, it was kind of a nervous race. I knew that the Cal guys are quick. But I knew also Fred Gabion behind me, and he's a tough competitor as well from previous years. So it was kind of, I had to manage between trying to defend from Fred and also attack Ercoli, and I found the right moment when I had enough gap to Fred, and I managed to pass Ercoli. And then, yeah, man, with the blue flags, I think it's a bit insane. Nicolo lost a bunch of time slowing down with the blue flags, and I was just lucky. I managed to close the whole gap. But I want to say thanks to everybody in PK Car Sport, all the mechanics, Anthony, everybody that actually put so much effort. Even from this morning when we were P3 in the qualifying, they made an amazing job debriefing and trying to find every bit of a tenth in this racetrack, and they made it. They deserve that win. And thanks for Monster Energy that I'm here with them and finest team finest. And yeah, I'm a happy boy. You know, I'm looking forward for tomorrow.
How was it after the checkered flag when you see all the guys back at Brands Hatch at that circuit cheering for you after that amazing win?
Yeah, even before the race, I was surprised how many people know about what's going on, and they knew that I'm holding 4 wins here, and now this is my 5th win. And it's nice to see so many people cheering for me. It gives me some boost, and I know that there are a couple of Israeli people also in the crowd. And yeah, it's a happy day for us, and we will celebrate a bit, and we will immediately focus for tomorrow because the championship is the most important thing now.
Celebrations. What song will come on the audio for you?
I will let them choose now. If it was me, you know, it was Africa by Toto, but I will let them choose.
Okay, so we see mostly another Rammstein PK Car Sport party, but okay, Alan Day.
Rammstein, yeah, probably Rammstein or Metallica, I don't know, something like that, I guess. Limp Bizkit.
All right, thank you so much. Congratulations, Alan Day.
Bit of Limp Bizkit, eh? Well, maybe he thinks he's special, and well, I'd say he is with the number of victories he's taken here at Brands Hatch Indy. I do hope some of you got the reference to the Limp Bizkit song there. Alan Day is, incidentally, not just now a 5-time winner at the Brands Hatch Indy circuit, tying with Ander Villarino. He is also our championship leader provisionally by 4 points. 113 points for Alan Day if all stands as we see it now. 109 points for Roca. And up to 3rd place in the points on just 89, so quite a gap between the top 2 and 3rd place would be Frederic Gabillon. However, let's go back down to Andre.
You were beaten by Alan Day. What happened there?
I mean, he just overtook me. No much more to say. I'll say I tried my best leading the whole race. I wasn't really expecting for him to be coming out. I mean, I was ready to defend the last few laps. I was up for a fight, but when I saw him on the inside, there was very little I could do at that point. Unfortunately, he had the upper hand, and that was it. You know, it's I mean, it's a hard one to swallow, I have to say. Leading the whole race, feeling that I was fast and controlling the race in a way for periods of the race. But yeah, that's the way it is, and yeah, we'll go at it again tomorrow, trying again. Proud of anyway the 56 team. We were 4th position, 2nd place is not that bad. Obviously, we were so close to win that is a bit hard to swallow, but nevertheless, another great race for us, and yeah, I guess I just need to improve from there, learn, and come back stronger. That's the only thing I can do. No need to think of what could have done and what could have been different. And second, I wanted to win. That's it.
Right. Grazie mille, Nicola Rocca, 2nd place here today.
Still a good result for Nicola Rocca in the championship, that much is for sure. I think once he's slept on it, once he wakes up in the morning, he'll be happy that he's on the podium, or that he was on the podium today, and he'll be regrouping to try and claim another win on Sunday. Of course, he is going to have to continue to fight off the likes of Alan Day. And also must say that's an awesome result for Gianmarco Ercoli as well. Taking 3rd place there will move him up the championship. Ali Kolik there, who will be on the who will be fairly happy with her results, I think. Did look like the car was running a bit wounded towards the end, but every time she hops in the car, I think she's learning a little bit more. Such a diverse racing portfolio for her since she started, having done trucks, GTs, Dakar, and now into the world of EuroNASCAR. And all of these drivers always look so happy after getting out of the car, especially when it's not that serious in free practice and so on. You can see how much they love racing these machines. They're great fun to drive. There's Nicola Rocca's second place helmet, and he will be handing over to Gil Linster for EuroNASCAR 2 later on. Incidentally, if you're not aware, the cars from EuroNASCAR Pro, by and large, will be back out there. The same chassis, well, apart from maybe that one, for the EuroNASCAR 2 category. The cars are shared across the two classes, and that means that you do have to rely on the other part of the team to, well, not crash it. And unfortunately for Matthias Hauer, that number 40 car is certainly worse for wear. Speedhouse will be working hard to get it ready for the EuroNASCAR 2 race later on this afternoon, but that's going to be touch and go, I reckon. We'll see if they are able to do it. Here are the highlights then from round 3 of the championship. It was a lightning launch from both drivers on the front row, the two Cal Racing competitors running well in the early going. Martin Dubeck moved his way up to 6th place early on, and Alan Day, from the word go, was doing everything he possibly could to try and get around Gianmarco Ercoli for 2nd place. Liam Hazemans, in his EuroNASCAR Pro debut, was getting physical. Unfortunately, too physical at one point. With the 16 car, we had the 17 in the gravel. That would ultimately cause a safety car, unfortunately, while they collected the car of Bernardo Manfrey. And then Alan Day started picking his way through the order, as we saw. This is the podium for the juniors. The junior, sorry, this is the overall podium, my apologies. Alan Day up onto the top step alongside Gianmarco Ercoli, taking 3rd place. And of course, the number 56 car, Nicola Rocca, there in 2nd place. Alan Day, though, on the top step of the podium. And another massive result for the 24 driver, and big trophies here at the American Speed Fest. Of course, the Brands Hatch podium has been stood on by many a racing legend, and Alan Day has now stood on that top step more than anyone other than Ander Villarino. So we'll have to see whether they decide to spray the champagne. They're thinking about it. Only thinking. Are they doing? Yes, they are. They spray the champagne and celebrate their podiums. And cheers to everyone there. Alan Day, he's done this before. He doesn't need to get his race suit wet. He's had the fun on the podium many a time previously. His 29th career win. Next up, Chris Dawes will bring the junior trophy podium up to the steps, and the up to 25 years old class, the junior trophy. So the young guys will be celebrating now. I believe we'll have Alia Kolak up on the third step of the podium. There she is. The 44th driver out there, Johnny Rautjärvi. And there you go, Giorgio Maggi up onto the podium too. And the trophies presented to these top three in the junior class. Of course, as we've mentioned, Alia will be racing again a little later on this afternoon. Her day is anything but done. And there you see them holding their trophies aloft. All three, I'm sure, delighted by that. And now the Challenger Trophy will be up. And it will be, of course, Martin Dubeck who claimed the trophy class win. That was, of course, fourth overall eventually for him. Davide Dallara, though, claiming third in class, introed onto the podium. Fabrizio Armetta in the 55, taking second. He had a really solid run there in the top 10 today, but no one was better in the Challenger class than Martin Dubeck, who again really is strutting his stuff in EuroNASCAR Pro, our EuroNASCAR 2 champion for 2021. And the victory, the biggest trophy of the Challenger class, of course, goes to Martin Dubeck. Congratulations to him. The festivities of the American Speed Fest continue here at Brands Hatch. The racing for EuroNASCAR continues here today as well. EuroNASCAR 2 will go green flag for their third round of the season at 16:35 local time. 16:35 will go live for that race at about 4:15 in local time, which is 5:15 Central European. As you can see on your screen, make sure you tune in to the EuroNASCAR 2 third round later on this evening. I'm sure that's going to be just as exciting as the EuroNASCAR Pro race we just witnessed. And then, of course, on Sunday, 2 more races, one from each division. Once again, the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series providing the show and the extravaganza at the Brands Hatch Indy circuit.